Good morning, everyone. I'm going to talk a little bit about a history subject here, and we're going to do a little bit on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So it's been 75 years since these two cities in Japan had been bombed, and we're going to talk a little bit here today. So here you can see Hiroshima prior to the atom bomb being dropped on it, and you can see it afterwards. You can just see the clouds of debris and dust still in the air as opposed to the nice clear pictures. I'm having a hard time even when I look at it trying to figure out which parts I'm really looking at. I almost wonder if I'm looking up here and this is this or what I'm actually seeing. So they estimated when the bomb was dropped on Hiroshima that 100,000 people had perished as a result. It could be a lot more considering the fact that radiation would have killed many of them afterwards, or their burns or any other injuries that had been caused. So the other thing too, let me close out of this again. There is going to be a documentary on the History Channel this Sunday about Hiroshima. 75 years later is the name of it. It will be at 9 o'clock. I plan on watching it myself. It should be very good and cover a lot more in-depth detail of what had happened. So for the history buffs, again, here is a picture of Hiroshima prior to the bomb being dropped. They talk about only rubble and a few utility poles remaining. This is what another street would have looked like after the bomb had gone off. And again, here is a view of the river. And again after, but this was in 1965, 20 years after the bomb. So it looks like this building is still decimated. They didn't take it down, they just built around it, is what it appears to me. Maybe we'll get more information on the documentary. And again, Nagasaki, they were bombed about 3 days later. Is that what they say? Yep, 3 days after Hiroshima. So again, you can see how clear everything is in this picture prior to, this picture afterwards. It just looks like there's nothing. Just looks all sandy from the picture. Nothing is clear. You can barely see any of the roads here. Whereas here you can clearly see where all the roads are and where all the buildings are. Here they're just gone. Again, we see this church, and they say it's a Christian church that can be seen here in Nagasaki. This was in 1920. The picture was taken. You can see a nice clear roof line on the church and all the buildings around it. Then after the bomb, you can't see the roof at all. The roof is just gone on the church, and all the buildings around it are gone. You just see a few little things here and there in the picture that are still partially standing. Again, here's a street in Nagasaki in 1940. And here's another street after the bomb. Just everything is gone. Just a few little things barely standing. So this is another site that you can get from the History Channel. This is Inside History. It is free to sign up for. They have lots of other things on here that you can always look at and read. It comes out a couple times a week. I read through them sometimes when I have enough time. They're really interesting articles to go through, but it is free to sign up for. And again, since it's free, you tend to get those ads popping up. But sign up twice a week. It's free to get. So I hope you watch the 75-year history on the Hiroshima and Nagasaki on Sunday. Have a good night.